England is gradually becoming unmanageable due to a series of scandals caused by Starmer, from criminals who have been quietly deported returning to the UK, to a lavish spender manipulating behind the scenes, and even chaos within the cabinet. All of this raises the question, can Starmer hold firm, or is he about to witness his own downfall? Well, right now, we will delve into this issue, but first, please like and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with the latest information on British politics. Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party, is not only facing policy opposition, but has also become embroiled in significant financial scandals. He has received over £100,000 in donations and gifts from sponsors, including personal items for his wife. This has sparked public outrage as many view it as a display of unfairness and corruption in British politics. While he has claimed there is nothing wrong with it, he has since returned £6,000. However, this move has done little to quell the anger. This scandal is particularly sensitive as it unfolds against the backdrop of an economic crisis in the UK. People are grappling with rising prices and living costs, which heightens their frustration at seeing politicians living extravagantly on donated funds. The cost of living crisis in the UK has become a pressing issue over recent years. Prices for food, personal hygiene products, and even clothing have surged, creating hardships for households. Meanwhile, politicians like Starmer seem out of touch with these concerns. The Labour Party's economic policies are criticised for their ineffectiveness in addressing skyrocketing prices. Starmer has attempted to ease the situation by pointing out that retail sales are increasing. However, much of this growth stems from people buying warm clothing to cope with the bitter winter. This isn't a sign of prosperity. Instead, it reflects how people are cutting back on spending just to survive. Individuals are making tough choices, such as limiting heating and cutting meals, while politicians remain indifferent. The gap between politicians and the public is widening, causing rising discontent in society. The immigration issue is equally serious, as the UK's immigration policy under Starmer and the Labour Party has exposed numerous loopholes. One of the most notable scandals involves an Albanian criminal who was expelled but later returned to the UK. This individual even started a family and claimed the right to remain in the country. This has sparked public outrage, as citizens feel the law is not being enforced properly. This incident not only highlights weaknesses in the immigration system, but also reveals the Labour Party's inability to address national security issues. Starmer has faced heavy criticism for not responding decisively to this problem, leading to a loss of public trust in his leadership. In many cases, Starmer has displayed a lack of decisiveness when confronted with the serious issues facing the country. Not only in immigration, but even regarding national security, he has failed to take a strong stance. The Labour Party's inability to propose viable solutions has eroded public confidence in Starmer's leadership. Notably, Starmer has often remained silent in situations where the public expected him to take a firm stand. For instance, when immigration protests erupted in the streets of London, rather than reacting vigorously, Starmer chose a softer approach. This has led many to feel that the Labour Party does not stand with the people and appears too weak in the face of serious issues. While other leaders in the UK and around the world have taken concrete steps to safeguard national security, Starmer seems unable to do so. This has further heightened feelings of discontent and confusion in society, leaving people uncertain about the safety of the nation under his leadership. One of the biggest challenges Keir Starmer faces is the crisis of rising interest rates and housing prices. Buying a home in the UK has become nearly impossible for many, especially young people. Housing prices have skyrocketed, and with mortgage rates also soaring, many households are drowning in debt. Starmer and the Labour Party have not implemented strong enough measures to curb this situation. People are not only unable to afford to buy homes, but renting has also become absurdly expensive. According to a recent report, rental prices in London have hit record highs, forcing thousands to leave the city because they can no longer afford to live there. This not only harms the economy, but also creates greater social division where the rich become richer while the poor grow poorer. Notably, while the public struggles with loans and housing costs, politicians like Starmer do not face similar difficulties. This has caused anger within the community as they feel that the political elite is out of touch and indifferent to the suffering of ordinary people. As a result, dissatisfaction with the Labour Party and Starmer is rising, especially as life becomes increasingly challenging. Not only is Keir Starmer criticised for economic and immigration issues, but he is also facing scrutiny from military experts regarding his defence policies. Amidst escalating international security tensions, particularly with countries like Russia and China increasing their military influence, Starmer has failed to demonstrate a clear strategic vision for the future of British defence. Military experts are concerned that if the UK continues its indecisive policies and fails to invest adequately in defence, it may become vulnerable to international threats. Starmer, in his role as leader of the Labour Party, has not made clear commitments to increase the defence budget or modernise the military. This not only weakens the UK against international adversaries, but also creates anxiety within the nation's military forces. A former British military commander stated that under Starmer's leadership, the country risks being weakened in terms of defence, leading traditional allies like the United States or NATO to lose faith in the UK's self-defence capabilities. Military experts are calling for Starmer and the Labour Party to take stronger steps to ensure that the UK is not drawn into conflicts without sufficient capacity to defend itself. Especially as nations like Russia ramp up military activities near Europe's borders, Starmer's continued delays in investing in defence could spell disaster. Experts warn that without immediate action, the UK could lose its standing in international military alliances and face the risk of isolation on the global stage. Looking ahead, Keir Starmer and the Labour Party stand at a critical crossroads. Financial scandals, impotence in addressing immigration and cost of living crises, along with weaknesses in defence policy, have raised many questions about Starmer's leadership capabilities. Public trust in his leadership is waning, which could lead to significant changes in British politics in the coming years. If Starmer does not alter his approach, he may face the risk of losing support from within the Labour Party as well as from voters. In the increasingly complex political landscape of the UK, a collapse of Starmer's leadership is no longer far-fetched. However, a larger question looms. What will the future of British foreign policy be if Starmer continues to lead? With no clear decisions regarding defence and national security, the UK risks losing its position on the international stage. This could have serious repercussions not only for the UK, but also for its international partners. In summary, Keir Starmer is confronting a series of enormous challenges spanning politics, economics and defence. He must act swiftly if he wants to maintain his leadership position, otherwise collapse seems inevitable. Will Starmer be able to overcome these difficulties and steer the UK back onto a path of development? Or will he become one of the forgotten leaders in history? Only time will tell. To wrap up this video, please share your thoughts on the current situation of Keir Starmer and the Labour Party. Can he overcome these scandals, or is his political career gradually coming to an end? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to avoid missing any analyses on British politics.